Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to the Desire of Ages series. Hope you've had a good Sabbath so far. We continue at Desire of Ages 73, paragraph 3. But on our last episode, we looked at how our Savior shared the lot with the poor, his experience of their cares and hardships. Because of that, and because he was working amongst them, he was able to encourage and able to comfort the humble workers. So we continue. Jesus carried into his labor cheerfulness and tact. It requires much patience and spirituality to bring Bible religion into the home life and into the workshop, to bear the strain of worldly business and yet keep the eye single to the glory of God. This is where Christ was a helper. He was never so full of worldly care as to have no time or thought for heavenly things. Often he expressed the gladness of his heart by singing psalms and heavenly songs. Often the dwellers in Nazareth heard his voice raised in praise and thanksgiving to God. He held communion with heaven in song, and as his companions complained of weariness and labor, they were cheered by the sweet melody of his lips. His praise seemed to banish even evil angels, and like incense filled the place with fragrance. The minds of the hearers were carried away from their earthly exile to their heavenly home. Jesus was a fountain of healing mercy for the world, and through all those secluded years at Nazareth, his life followed out in currents of sympathy and tenderness. The aged, the sorrowing, and the sin burdened, the children at play in their innocent joy, the little creatures of the groves, and patient beasts of burden, all were happier for his presence. He whose he whose word of power upheld the worlds would stoop to relieve a wounded bird. There was nothing beneath his notice, nothing to which he disdained to minister. So he's always ministering and he's always singing and always uplifting people. Thus, as he grew in wisdom and stature, Jesus increased in favor with God and man. He drew the sympathy of all hearts by showing himself capable of sympathizing with all. The atmosphere of hope and courage surrounded him, made him a blessing in every home, and often in the synagogue of the Sabbath day he was called upon to read the lesson from the prophets, and the hearts of the hearers thrilled as a new light shone out from familiar words of the sacred text. So you can see, brothers and sisters, that Jesus had a very active life, not only in the synagogue, going through the scriptures, but also in his day-to-day life, in his home, in his workplace, among his community. He was always there to comfort, encourage, and uplift people. We ought to do the same. See you on the next.